Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, March 20th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, we were taking a look at XHLD. Huge mover today, and definitely got to think a lot of people will be watching it as we head into Thursday. So let's get some key levels mapped out. So the first level from the sports standpoint would be the area where we say, hey, Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute strongest moving forward? Let's change that. There we go. And also then just change this to green to represent support. But what would make this chart look the absolute strongest moving forward? And that would be if the price can stay up above $1.07. Now, with that being said, don't get me wrong, if the price pulls back here and falls below $1.07, that doesn't mean the entire chart's epically destroyed or anything like that. But that would certainly, like I said, if it can stay above there, that would make the chart look the strongest. Now, from the big picture standpoint, it's all about the purple line right there, the 50-period simple moving average. Keyword definitely being moving because I understand the price is way up here. That line's way down there. But like I said, keyword being moving. So as time goes by, that line is going to move itself higher and higher and basically become a trend line that's going to draw itself for you. So assuming you care about the overarching big picture of things, then as long as the price does stay above that purple line, then overall the bulls are still in full control of the movement. In terms of areas of resistance, this is a good problem to have, but this is basically in blue sky breakout territory. I mean, to be fair, I suppose you could just come and, drop a line right there because that's where the momentum stopped as of right now, but the market's still open for another 18 minutes. So does the price actually stop at $1.48? We'll see. But if you're watching this and saying, wait, my chart shows that the price closed up above $1.50, well, that's just telling you that this current momentum has continued. But overall, like I said, good problem to have. You can't really quite map out any areas of potential resistance just because it's been a long time since the price has been up this high. But like I said, from a bullish standpoint, that is a good thing. Next one here, taking a look at TSLL, and we got some movement in the upwards direction. Yeah, still a lot more work that needs to be done, but to be fair, when you look at these lows, and then you look at these lows, and then you look at these lows right there, and if you envision those as stair steps, the price is now starting to get some stair steps in the upwards direction. Again, yes, there is still more work that needs to be done, but every bigger move has got to start somewhere. So maybe, just maybe, it is the sign that the bulls are starting to step back in. And just to kind of continue to gauge the health of this current movement right here. No need to overcomplicate it. Just get a trend line in place. So let me change that to green for support. So from a very just straightforward, vantage point, as long as the price stays above that trend line, that in and of itself implies the price is building higher lows. And that's what a truly strong move is going to do. Nothing can go just straight up, but you do want to see progress. You do want to see higher lows being built. And again, that is what that trend line right there is helping us to gauge. In terms of areas of resistance, key battleground now to watch. Is that where it hit it today? Yeah, very close. Right there at about $8.55. Going through the history of things, you can see right there, rejected the price, and basically right there, rejected the price. So keep a close eye on that level right there as the main area of resistance. But overall, starting to see some signs of progress. Let's see if the price can bare minimum stay above that trend line. Next one here, BDTX, and this is a very ugly looking chart, no doubt about it, but you long-time viewers, you know what I'm going to say next. There can be opportunity in the ugly. But yes, to think at one point the price was all the way up here, and even worse yet, to think that there are some poor souls that were buying up there. Hopefully they were using stop losses, but then after that, there has been a huge pullback. But the interesting part now about all this is where the price has pulled back to and is currently sitting, and that's right at basically both these moving averages. The pink line being the famous 200-period moving average, purple line being the famous 50-period moving average. So it now becomes a rational thought, keyword being rational thought, not guaranteed, but it becomes rational to think that maybe, just maybe, there might be some sort of bounce off of these areas, especially when something gets this ugly. When something is looking so terrible where nobody ever believes it can ever go back up again, usually when people get that pessimistic, those are the moments where things all of a sudden begin to turn around. So again, not guaranteed to happen, but assuming you're a disciplined trader and can honor stops, relative to what would need to be risked. And then if you do get some sort of bounce, and price wouldn't even have to come anywhere close to like retesting these highs up here. But any sort of even modest bounce, again, relative to what was being risked, you could be looking at a very interesting scenario. So if you like to play these sort of opportunity in the ugly type circumstances, here you go. Next one here, looking at QBTS, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that have watched past videos, but if you have, hopefully remember me putting in that resistance trend line right there, and I mean, you can't make this stuff up, the power of charts. Look right where the price ultimately did struggle today, right at the trend line. Now, the good news is the price is still right next to it, so it becomes a valid thought that there could very well be a breakout through it on Thursday. Again, not guaranteed, but now if the price was down here, you'd have to argue, well, first off, the price got to come all the way up here, and then it's got to be able to battle through it. But that's not the case here, right? The point is the price is still very close to it, so another battle could follow. But as of right now, it's making perfect sense why the price is currently struggling at that area due to the trend line, at that point in the chart. If there is any sort of pullback, then the key level to watch would be down here right around the $9.45 mark. But yes, I think all eyes right now, the big question mark headed into Thursday is, can the price break up through that level? We'll see what happens. Next one here, NVDA. So there's some good things, and then there's some things that, okay, not a whole lot happened. So what do I mean by that? Well, in the very micro sense, the good thing that happened, assuming you're bullish, is the price was able to actually get up through this resistance line here that I drew. Earlier on in the day, it was a struggle, but then did finally get the break right there and have gotten some push up. So that's a good thing. I mean, it is good to see those resistance trend lines broken, so mission accomplished. But then I made the comment, but kind of from an overall standpoint, nothing's really happened. And that's what I mean in regards to this current sideways channel. In other words, the price is still stuck. In fact, as of now, it's basically dead center of the sideways channel. Maybe give or take a little bit, but if we just kind of try to estimate it out, it's looking like current price is essentially right in the middle of the channel. So, is that bad or good? I mean, I would argue, well, at least it's good in the sense of that trend line was broken today, and it was a resistance trend line that was broken. But if you are somebody that cares about more so the bigger picture, then yeah, you're still waiting. You're still waiting. Your question mark is still out there in terms of, are the bulls going to win with a break to the upside? Are the bears going to win with a break to the downside? So and your particular viewpoint still doesn't have any answers. But for any of the day traders or scalpers or whatever you want to call yourself that maybe did buy that, breakout of the trend line, for them, they had a good solid day. So like I said, intraday, nice little bullish move with a breakout. Looking at things from the multi-day standpoint, yeah, nothing really happened because the price is still stuck in the channel. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering very soon. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down below in the description area that you can use to sign up. Or if you're watching right at my website, there's an area on the webpage there that you can get signed up with. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free class. Next one here, taking a look at SUNE, and overall, I think this is the area that most people will be watching. So please let me be very clear. As I draw this, please don't think I'm trying to impress you or trying to imply that this is some sort of great discovery on my part or I have a special talent. No, the exact opposite. And I make all those comments because when a lot of people are watching the same trend lines and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movement. So while there are no guarantees, is it valid to think that if the price were to come up to that area and then break up through it, that break in and of itself could create additional buying pressure? That is certainly a plausible conclusion. Again, not guaranteed, but I don't think anybody would accuse you of being, wait, you're saying that if it breaks that trend line that everybody and their brother's uncle has drawn, it's going to keep moving? Like I said, I don't think anybody would call you crazy in that regard. So from a resistance standpoint, definitely keep a close eye on that trend line right there. And then as far as areas of support are concerned, I would argue a very, very important level of support is down here at the 36-cent mark. And I'm not saying this will occur, but the reason that is such an important level is if the price were to go down there and then break down below there, what would that be doing to the price? That would quite literally be putting the price right back in this range where it already was. Or in other words, that would be implying that the price made a big old move to then just go right back to where it was. And not to insult your intelligence, but price movements that make great moves and then go back to where they started, not exactly a sign of genuine power. Again, I'm not saying that's what's going to occur, but that is why in my mind that 36-cent area, very, very important level of support, but we'll see how the week continues to play out. Next one here, LCID, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that watched the video from yesterday, but if you did, I talked about this bull pennant pattern, and I mean just a beautiful example here of the price coming up here, breaking out of the pattern, and then a very solid move right there. So if you did watch yesterday's video and you took that trade, a big congratulations to you. But now we're kind of in a case of deja vu because we have essentially the exact same thing that's happened once again. So yes, from where the price was these highs, there has been a pullback. But then if we factor in the bottom part of this pullback channel, change that to green, and then let me just point it out and make it all the same color. Maybe that makes it hopefully easier to see for people. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big move up right there, and there we go. We have ourselves another bull flag pattern. Let me be very clear, just because something's in a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to go upwards, but is it plausible? Is it valid to think that the price comes up here and pushes up through there? You could get some sort of follow through. That is certainly a plausible scenario. So if you like bull flag patterns, here you go. Next one here, PLUG, and this one's been looking pretty shaky and continues to look shaky. So let's get a couple of key lines drawn in here. So just first off, from the trend line standpoint, this is another one of these areas where, again, I'm not trying to press you. Got to think probably a lot of people have drawn that trend line right there. So if there is going to be any sort of attempt at a bigger move back upwards, that's certainly going to be public enemy number one. But even if the price were to break through there, personally, I wouldn't get overly excited about it because not that far away after the breakout, you then would potentially have to deal with these moving averages here. Again, the pink line being the 200 period moving average, purple line being the 50 period, and they're essentially, right at the same level. So it's not impossible to get a bigger breakout. I'm just saying a bigger breakout being defined as breaking the trend line and these moving averages right there. It's certainly going to take quite a bit of effort on the bulls' part. So keep in mind that dynamic. And then in terms of areas of support, no need to overcomplicate this. You can see several times today, so to give credit where credit's due, the bears try to press down through that level. In fact, 5 different times the price tried to push down through $1.55, but each and every time the bulls did hold strong. So yeah, that'll be the big question mark moving forward. Will 155 continue to hold strong on Thursday? We'll see what happens. Next one, ATER, and I like this one as it showed the ability to move quickly and then with the pullback. But the key thing here is, when things start to pull back, when it gets down around there, it becomes start to develop. It's like, uh-oh, was this just a pump and dump? Was this some sort of gap and trap? What exactly is going on? But then the price did start to go sideways. Now, I wish I could say that trading was as easy as just find prices that go sideways because that means they're done going down. Not quite that easy. But my point is it at least a plausible thought that maybe, just maybe, this pullback is over and maybe, just maybe, this thing is getting ready to curl back upwards? Yes, that makes it way more plausible. Case in point, let's just say the price was still just dropping, and then I'm sitting here saying, hey, it's like looking like this could be the bottom. You'd be totally justified to say, wait, what are you talking about? Based on what? The price literally going straight down. But that's not the case here. It has at least started to go sideways. So doesn't guarantee that the pullback's over, but again, just makes it more plausible. So in my mind, that's an interesting level right there. That's illustrating that not only is the price going sideways, it's got a little bit of an upwards angle to it. And then from the resistance side of things, key level to watch, in my opinion, right there, that area of resistance. So you have a bit of a wedge here that's forming. So yeah, if you like these scenarios where you do indeed get an initial big move up, get a pullback, but then you start to get some consolidation. If you like these sorts of things where maybe you think that this is going to break back to the upside, certainly worth keeping an eye on. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, and overall a good solid move from just kind of regaining its footing. After Tuesday, it was looking very, very shaky with the price moving back down into this range. But to give some credit's due, the price has now worked its way to get back outside of the range, quote unquote, outside of the range being defined as getting back up above that 233.50 mark. So on that note, that's where the first update comes into play, and that's just based on a foundational rule, which states when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. And especially in this situation, because again, if the price were to fall back below that 233.50 mark, well, then what do we have, as we've talked about in some of these other charts, when all of a sudden you have the price having gone right back to where it was, which is just not a sign of true strength, where a price makes a great move and then goes back to where it was. So 233.50, certainly going to be a very, very important level as we head, not into necessarily just Thursday, but really just moving forward. If this price continues on up, I'm going to just go ahead and extend this trend line up here because that's still, in my opinion, at least going to be the main overarching area. You'll want to continue to watch that 200 period up there, but that's probably getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. Let's just first see if the price can first maintain above 233.50, but certainly a step in the right direction. Let's just see now if the price can start to make progress and not go back to where it was. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about the program and all of everything that I have to offer and how I'm using charts to build consistency and all that, then the class will be very soon. Thursday, March 20th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope to see you there. As far as the top 10 videos are concerned, as always, if you appreciate these, if you enjoy them, they help out, please communicate that to me by hitting the like button. And then especially if you're looking for a super free and easy way to support the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button as it really does help out. So thanks for watching and make sure you get signed up for the free class.